So, Kenny, why do you think nutrition is important?
I think it's very important because as an athlete and as just, for daily use, it's very important for your body to be at the utmost, like be at its peak. For sprinting, for me, it's very important because I need to make sure that I'm recovering right and making sure that I'm having all the energy to be able to sprint the first 100 meters and then the last 100 meters and the 200 meters. So, um,
If you had to choose any foods that really give you energy, what would be your best?
mm,
The good stuff
good stuff.
and the bad stuff.
Well, we just ordered pizza, so I say pizza as the bad stuff, and the good stuff I like steak, medium rare,
Okay,
and sweet potato with broccoli.
awesome. And what is your advice to young athletes? People who
Uh,
are watching you. If you had to go back in a time capsule and meet Kenny, who's 14 years of age, from
well,
a nutrition point of view, what would you tell that kid?
I would tell them to do their best with their nutrition because I mean, when I was in high school and college, I ate like trash, eating hot Cheetos, having Skittles before races, and I mean, if you have a dream to become an elite athlete, I think it's better to start out, sooner than later, especially at a young age, and it's also just healthier for the body. Finding out that I had the whole gluten problems and all that, I didn't find that until later, but it's continuously damaging the body when you're putting all those toxins in. So that's the advice. Just if you have a dream to become an athlete, elite athlete, at the highest stage, start early. It'll make everything easier later on.
Awesome. Taking a cue on gluten, because I'm writing a book on gluten at the end of this year on how you should do the testing and come to know about it. I mean, gluten's found in pastries and bread and
Yeah,
pizza and
all my
everything.
favorite things.
All the favorite things of every athlete, right?
Yeah.
But now that you found out that you're gluten sensitive and you're eliminating it from your diet, did you actually see a difference in your training, in the weight room, in your performance? And if
Yeah.
you did see a difference which is making you kind of give up these things that you really like, what's your thought process in that? From a not from a like, oh, my body's feeling better, but just from the battle that goes on in your head when you to have or not to have.
I mean, initially it was really hard. I mean, I got the test done, found out my gluten levels were through the roof, and went back home and had to look through everything, and it's kind of like, wow, I can't eat this. Mentally, it's
So you're more aware of it now when you go to places and
yeah. I
supermarkets.
check for everywhere I go. I check to make sure if it has gluten free or not. I have cheat days sometimes, but that's when I really deserve it, and that's usually in the off season. But I mean, it's a battle every day. I always, go to the store. I'm like, I want this because I know it's gonna taste better. Um, but I gotta make sure to not take it because I do feel better and it helps me perform better at a better level and all that. But yeah, just it's what's really hard about it is just the taste and
It's
finding
tough.
it's tough, but it's also like the gluten free stuff. It's healthier, obviously, but it's hard to find a brand or somebody that actually makes it tasty. Like
So
with
that means when you travel and all for the world championships and the Diamond League and all of that stuff, are you like you have to be a little bit more prepared than say a person who's not on a nutrition plan?
Yeah, I have to be more prepared. I gotta make. Usually, when I go to competition overseas, I don't usually eat the food that's down, at the hotel because first of all, it doesn't taste that good, and then it's not what I need. We have a plan to make sure that the races, you know, I get the job done at the race, and what I usually do is just order from out, and I just make sure just to get what I need and make sure that it's gluten
Awesome.
free. So that's how
Awesome.
I kind of manage that aspect when I go overseas. But in the U.S., it's a lot easier because I can kind of bring my own stuff, and I'm familiar with the companies and all that. But overseas is a little tougher, but I still get it done.
Weight room or track? Which is your favorite? Depends on the training.
Yeah, it depends on the training. If the track is really hard, I don't want to go to the weight room. But then if it's easy, I love going to the weight room.
Is there any favorite supplement that you have when you work out that you can feel the difference? Is it a hydration drink? Is it a
uh,
BCA? Is it a protein powder? What do you feel? What do you look forward to taking?
well, it's not the beat. The beat. What is the beat it?
Beetroot juice, the
Yeah, I take
figgy
that,
juice.
but what's the shoot, I forgot what it's called, but it's some hydration drink that I put in the water and it
Okay, so
tastes.
it's the isotonic
Yeah,
sports drink
yeah,
that you
yeah,
take.
yeah,
So you like that? It
yeah,
quenches
because
your thirst.
it quenches my thirst and it has a little good taste to it. So
Awesome. What's your advice to people on working with professionals, from the coach to the physio to the masseur to the nutritionist to the mind coach, you're up there with some of the best in the world. You won a silver at the Tokyo Olympics. What is your perspective of working with a team?
It's good for basic communication with everybody. The coach knows what's going on with the mental health and the nutrition, so we can all communicate to each other.
And how much of like a load is it on you, or how much of a relief is it on you? What goes through your mind when you're like, okay, I got to do my diet, I got to do my weight training, I got to follow my fitness training, I got to follow the coach? Does it get heavy? Because for athletes out there, everyone assumes being a champion is quite easy.
No.
Every champion has an entire support team. So what's it like? What goes on in your head? Because I know I keep telling you got to eat this, and you're like, I wish I could just dial in a pizza.
Yeah, it's hard, more mentally taxing.
So it's more mental.
Yeah, more mental because I have all these duties I got to do, these check marks that I got to bring out, and it's a lot of work, but I mean it's worth it because at the end of the day, when I end up getting the gold or silver, I did what I needed to do to get to that point, and it's a good feeling to know that I actually did everything to get up to that point. And I come in more confident too when I know that I'm doing everything. If I don't have my beat it, or if I don't have this and that right before the race, I'm gonna be kind of like, okay, I didn't do that, so what's gonna happen? But if I do everything, I'm like, okay, I'm confident, I got everything done, and let's go.
Does Kenny cook?
Barely.
If you had to make something for yourself, what would you cook?
I can make salmon, some honey drizzled salmon.
Okay.
I just started cooking that, and I can make a burger. But I'm learning right now. I mean, so far I've been ordering out all the time. But
So when you order out, are you kind of going through the menu, like looking up what's available and stuff like that?
yeah, I look to see what it is, and
And earlier, would you do that?
earlier.
Earlier, as in before you were on a nutrition plan, you didn't know you were gluten sensitive. You just like
Yeah, I just order whatever. Whatever. Hey,
because
this
you were
looks
tired.
yeah, because I was tired of it. Like, oh, this is tasty. Okay, I didn't think about any of the
So
negative effects.
Taste has been replaced now with more planning on. Okay, I gotta get my carbs.
Yeah.
Is there some protein in this?
Yes. Yeah.
I gotta get some.
But I also try to still make sure it tastes a little good so I can enjoy it.
Cool. Any last advice to track and field athletes across the world?
Just listen to your coaches, and and then make sure to find a good team. Because if I didn't have a good team, I wouldn't be at the position I am right now. It'd be very difficult for me to even figure out what to do to make sure that I am, running at the highest level. But having a good support system, nutritionist, coach, mental health coach, lifestyle coach, everybody, family, it's all very important because, it's going to make everything easier for you when you hear the gunshot off, and then at the end of the race.
If you were not a track and field athlete, what would you be?
I love sports, everything sports. So if I wasn't in track, I would be in football because I love football. I think I love football more than track, but track is safer. So
there's an intellectual part to Kenny. If you were not into sport, what other profession would you have chosen in another lifetime?
I was thinking of taking up sports medicine, maybe be an athletic trainer or something like that.
Awesome.
So I took a class in high school, and then I was planning on taking one in college, but they didn't have the class, so I was going to do it later. But now I'm doing this, so I got to figure out what I want to do now.
Maybe after 3 more Olympics, you could do
yeah,
that.
maybe that, or do some business or something like that. But
awesome. We were Kenny.